Hey everyone, welcome back to another night of Painting from Life. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good. We are so happy we have Maxine here this evening as our model, and the painters this evening is Chelsea Lang and Evie Erb and myself. So we're so excited that you're joining us for another evening here at Painting from Life. If you want to, please join us, paint along. We do have reference images up. Just click the link in the description below, and you should have access to not only those, but the rest of them. All you have to do is put your email in if you've never done it before. If you have, then you already have access to it, and it'll be the next added set of reference images. So we're just doing a head and shoulders portrait this evening. Please come with your questions, bring the conversation. We love talking. The whole purpose of doing this is to invite you to our studio while we all hang out and have a good time painting. That's nothing more than that. And so please join us in the conversation as well as painting. Also, this evening, Emma is behind the scenes. She will be the one calling out your questions and your salutations, and also working on switchering and anything else in the background. So let us know, as always, if something doesn't sound right, doesn't look good. We want to make sure that the image quality is good for you. So let us know if something's going wrong. And without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. All right. You know, it's been a minute since I've done a portrait night with everyone. So hopefully I won't be a little rusty, you know?
I think you're going to be great. You've been practicing.
Well, I've been painting, that's for sure. But painting quickly is always a different story. So it'll be fun to get back into that, for sure.
Great. As Lewis said, please write in with where you're from and what you're up to this evening.
You know, sometimes it's really good. I just noticed I got all my paints out, but I didn't even get my brushes out. So,
I might want those.
you know, it really is helpful when you're painting a painting to actually have something to paint with. You know, I mean, gone are the days of finger painting back in kindergarten. But not that there's anything wrong with that. If there's still people out there that are enjoying finger painting, go for it.
I've seen some like great gallery paintings by finger painting artists, actually. I didn't realize it was a thing either, but it is.
Any names you want to share?
I do, but I would have to check my Facebook to actually make sure I get his name right. But I'm Facebook friends with somebody actually who has a YouTube channel and makes some really cool, like juicy impasto heavy finger paintings. They're mostly plein air landscapes.
Nice.
Well, that is pretty awesome.
I remember when I was in art school, I had a really very like cliche art school kind of assignment once of make a self-portrait with anything but brushes.
Yeah. Or
So,
anything but paint, or like anything except art supplies.
We were allowed to use paint, thankfully, because wow. But yeah, we were not allowed to use brushes, and so like trying to figure out unconventional tools to use for this assignment. There were some funky paintings to critique that next week.
I bet. Y'all, speaking of, I was on Instagram over the time I was traveling. I was doing a lot of traveling, delivering paintings. And I know that it's probably been around for a bit, but I finally stumbled across the fad of people at the dinner table painting each other. Have y'all seen these on Instagram?
No.
Yes, they're so fun.
Oh, gosh.
Tears running down my face.
Like
So
what?
funny.
like couples
So,
usually, right?
Couples that don't have any training, it's called the portrait challenge. And so they sit across from each other and they paint each other. And so usually one is, it's okay. It has the impression of the person. You can see it. You can see where they're getting the things from. And it's usually the other. Often it's the guy. And it is just hideous. Like, it is bad, you know. I don't know if I have laughed that hard in a while. So,
It's got to be one of the best trends out there. It's so fun.
right? And so, anyway, if y'all get a chance, do yourselves a favor and check that out because it's just great.
We have a comment. Hello, Chelsea. Greetings from Javier.
Hello, Javier. I'm just about to get started working with Javier, actually.
Oh, cool.
Thanks so much for watching. I'm glad you can make it.
Yeah, he's writing in from Barcelona.
Barcelona. That's awesome.
Yes. So late night for him, but I'm glad you got to see the kickoff to the stream.
I have a friend that used to live in Barcelona, and she absolutely fell in love with it. And from her stories that she's told me, I just really, really, really want to go there someday.
Yeah, it's like one of the only major cities in Spain that I haven't visited.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous city.
I've been to Malaga, Spain, but I've never been to Barcelona. I really want to go. So we're all coming to visit, Javier. Get ready. East Oaks tour. The amount of times we've had East Oaks tour situations where I'm like, yes, that's another place East Oaks can go on the road. We need to start creating itinerary and covering some ground.
We got to do that.
So
We'll just be nomadic for a little while.
I'm down
That'd be
for
really
that.
fun.
I'm down for that. Not gonna lie, I feel like this full hair is gonna be so much fun.
I know. I turned my
Paint.
panel sideways so I could get more of her hair. Although I have more of it in my frame than y'all do. For sure.
Yeah, I had to basically choose a side of which side was gonna be going off the page and which one,
Yeah.
you know. So, speaking of Spain, I think I told the girls this story not too long ago when we were out at lunch, but it's one of the few places that I was almost arrested. Me and some buddies had rented a moped. We rented several mopeds. It was like 5 of us, and we were all going through the town, and we didn't realize that there was this main street that was a pedestrian-only street. And so we go down that street, and of course we get immediately pegged and pulled over. But the guy didn't speak any English, and none of us spoke Spanish, except for one of the guys spoke pretty good Italian, and one of the police officers spoke good Italian. So it was really funny because there was this whole translation from like Spanish to Italian to English and back again in order for the whole conversation to happen.
Louis,
Sounds exhausting.
I feel like your arrest stories always come up on Painting from Life.
See? But aren't they the most fun stories, you know, after the fact?
Yeah, they are.
So, probably not during. I was a little scared I was going to be going into a jail and not know a single number to call.
How old were you?
22.
Oh.
So, I mean, cell phones were obviously a thing, but I didn't have, well, that one I had my cell phone. The other arrest story, I did not have my cell phone on me. And that was when I was really scared because I was like, I don't know anyone's number. They're all on my phone. This is going to be really scary. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, it's a good time. But they were gracious and nice and just told us to stay off that street. So I was very thankful for them to be okay.
Well, Javier said that we should come visit someday and that he'll show us some very nice restaurants and maybe even cook some nice pizza.
Oh,
I'm
that sounds
down.
nice.
Sold.
I'm down.
All Right, that's what we're coming.
I don't know about everybody else in the world, but we have been having a serious heat wave that's come through the U.S. And I have been traveling dead in the eye of the storm. I was down in Mississippi and Memphis, Tennessee, and of course, wasn't much better here. So, like it's been just kind of hot everywhere. I had somebody tell me today, I can't remember who it was. Was it you, Emma, that told me? Somebody told me that it's colder in Florida right now. Florida is the coldest state in the country right now.
That is
Wait,
Like
wild.
that's how hot it's been everywhere else. So I was like, dang.
It's so wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Something's really scary about that.
We have a comment, hello from Toronto. I have this Ugo plein air easel also. I like it more than my big and heavy French easel.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed mine. I've only had this one for a couple of months. And I have noticed actually, so like everything with this is like very much held together by magnets. So like there's a bar here that's magnetized underneath my panel. But they forgot to glue my magnets in place. So
No.
every time I try to pack it up, I just get a bunch of magnets, little tiny magnets rolling around everywhere. So I need to reach out to them and see what kind of like adhesive they would recommend to just anchor those magnets into the wood. But aside from that, honestly, it's been perfect. I just totally have fallen in love with using this.
That's awesome.
My sweet husband is also watching, so hi, Danny.
Hi, Danny. Danny, you got to come over sometime, buddy. Can't wait to finally meet you.
I know, he needs to see the space.
I'm always talking to Emma about how I grew up. Some of my closer friends were Lebanese because there was a huge migration of Lebanese people that came to Mississippi in like the 60s and 70s. And so one of my best friends that I used to play soccer with growing up was Lebanese, and we'd go over to his house, and his family taught my mom how to make tabbouleh and grape leaves and kibbe. And one of our favorite restaurants in town was a Lebanese restaurant, which was quite odd in Mississippi or in the South, because you just wouldn't feel like there would be that kind of ethnic cooking, and it was just the best. It was the best place in town. That's where everybody went. And so, yeah. So I always have a big appreciation for y'all's cuisine.
Where we are, well, at least like Cary specifically, incredible like blend of different cuisines from around the
Right?
world. Like, I don't know, I feel like Cary is quickly becoming the place to be. Just in terms of, like, they have the new park down here, which is just delightful, and really great restaurants. Like, I feel like I'm much quicker to come and eat in Cary than I am, like, in downtown Raleigh now, so.
Yeah, park is incredible.
Right?
It's so funny. I saw somebody on Facebook. I think it was because we follow the park or something, and somebody put on there as a joke. He's sitting by one of those fire pits that they have, communal fire pits, but it's closed and has a tarp over it. He says something like, $800 million for budget for this park, and they can't even keep the fire on. And of course, he's joking because it's 1,000,000 degrees outside, and so there's no reason to have it on. But all of a sudden, everybody jumped down his throat thinking he was being serious, and one of the girls is like, "This is like the devil's butthole out here right now. It's so hot, How could you dare say that you, So the other, and he was like, guys, I'm joking. I love the park."
Yeah.
So,
Danny said, still waiting for you, Louis, for a Lebanese dinner sometime. I'm looking forward to meeting you.
Oh, that's gonna be, the feeling is mutual. Feeling is mutual. All right.
I'll bring some fattoush.
Ooh, yes. Fatouche is the best.
I could live off of that forever.
So what's everybody been up to lately? Evie, you're working on a new project.
I am, yeah. I'm actually currently working on what will be my largest piece since I started here, which is exciting.
Very exciting.
And it's my first multi-figure piece since I started here. And I think it's my second multi-figure piece ever.
Nice.
There you go.
I think that's right. Yeah, it's been really fun. It's definitely still in the beginning stages, but I'm happy with how it's going so far, though.
Nice.
What about you, Chelsea? What are you working on lately?
So I just finished a piece for the OPA regional, and honestly, since finishing that one, I've kind of just been decompressing a little with like some quicker paintings, because that one was definitely like, it was larger, it was more ambitious, it was under deadline. So been just doing some like quick studies to encourage loosening back up. And then I got photo reference from Evie this week, who is a fantastic model.
Oh,
I'm super excited. I actually just loaded up those photos today and started editing them in Lightroom. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to when that's like ready for me to actually dive in painting wise. Yeah, I have a bunch from you. Like I probably have 5 good paintings worth of stuff from that shoot.
Sweet.
That I'll probably just kind of revisit over time. So
that's awesome. Yeah, that was a
Long-term
really
use.
fun shoot. Chelsea and I just did that a few days ago. Yeah, I don't know. I really appreciate just like, I don't know, being able to do things like that with people who are like friends and also artists. So it's kind of like we already both kind of know one another's work and what we're sort of looking for. And yeah, I felt like we just kind of like really meshed well, you know?
yeah, it's so nice because like kicking off, I didn't really have to do much in the way of like prep or giving you direction, and I could just sort of see where you went with it and then like slowly start to weigh in with like ideas or things that I thought were working really well. So
Yeah.
a lot of really nice photos came from that, and I'm excited to get like even more reference with you in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to explore more doing things like that more kind of like with the seasons. And seeing how like different seasonal changes in light outside can impact photo sessions in that way. I think that'd be really fun to play with.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, always makes me happy to see like everyone sort of musing off of everyone else.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Get those creative juices flowing.
That's right.
I wonder who came up with that. That's always sounded actually like kind of like a gross thing to say. I don't know. Sorry, I just said that.
No, I think it's perfect.
That is an interesting point now that you bring it up. It's one of those things where I think when we enter a different cultural time and have a different connotation on words, or words have other meaning, that like sometimes the words will lose their sort of their luster of what they kind of were at a different time.
Or
So
it changes.
It changes, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, wait, Chelsea, weren't you the one who who was talking months ago about how a lot of, or maybe this was Lewis.
It's a naval language.
Yeah, it's very like naval based and like sailing
Oh,
based.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was you.
and then Carla sent me something this week that was super interesting about the idea of a broadcast, and actually taking it one layer removed from that, like the definition of the word podcast. Like, we're so far removed from it now, but
Yeah.
at the time, a podcast was a broadcast that you listened to on your iPod. But of course, no one uses iPods anymore.
Right.
But then you look at the term broadcast, which is like kind of the root of podcast, which actually had nothing to do with radio at all. It had to do with farming and like sowing your seeds widely and like disseminating them
Broadcast.
widely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, I never knew that.
It's one of those things where like I never knew it, but it makes total and complete sense.
Yeah.
Especially coming from a farming background, or, you know, like that makes complete sense that that's what that would have meant.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I thought you were going to say a broadcast, staying with the sailor theme, that like the casting a broad net.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that's where you were about to go with it.
That's actually like part of what I expected too, and I heard someone defining it, but no, it's kind of funny because even like with podcasts, like you go back to that farming idea or that like botanical notion of like the pod.
Yeah, I remember very vividly being in like, gosh, probably like 5th grade and being in like a computer lab class and having a teacher explain what a podcast was for the first time. And back then, when podcasts were new, it was like, I don't know, it was like a very dorky thing to be into podcasts. But now it's like,
It's
already like gone and come back and become retro, which being retro in the context of technology is just such a
weird thing.
weird
Right?
thing to me.
Yeah. All right, we're getting close to the first time.
Yeah, we are. We've got 15 seconds.
Oh boy.
Just gonna get my color ready. I'm not even gonna put color down because I know as soon as I put color down, yep, there it goes. All right, everybody, we're gonna give the model a break. We will be back in 5 minutes.
Be sure to continue sending in questions. We'd love to get to them when we come back. Hey everyone, we're back.
I hope the people out there like a bit of ASMR while I sit here and scrape my palette a bit, make some color.
Yeah, I'm doing the same. I'm gonna mix up some mixtures for the hair.
We have a question from Kevin. Has anyone ever used oil paper for an alla prima painting? I used it for the first time the other day, worked pretty well, but very tough to get full coverage on the white paper. Not sure if I could get away with doing a wash on the paper without ruining it.
I've never used, I'm guessing, is that like a brand oil paper or like?
He didn't specify the brand.
I think it's Arches oil paper.
Okay.
That would be my guess.
Well, I've never used that specifically. I have painted in oils on paper before, but I've only done it on paper that I've pre-treated with size, like a polymer size, so that it doesn't soak through and, you know, stays more archival. But yeah, I wonder what they would have treated their paper with if you're having issues getting good coverage.
So I know, the only person I know who has like regularly painted on oil paper is my buddy Kai.
That's right,
And
yeah.
I know that he will often prime with a clear shellac. I don't know what the conservation considerations of that are, but I'm pretty sure it lets him go in a very washy way. If you take a look at Kai's work, he might not start with like a full Gamsol wash, but the paint is nonetheless like very wet in the early stages. So
If it helps, this is what I've used. I just happen to have this in my cart. Yeah, so it's like just a size, acrylic size that really cheap. I think I just got it from Blick. But yeah, it works pretty well, and you can see like it's really thin. So you do want to do multiple coats of it typically, but it dries clear and works great. So yeah, for whatever that's worth.
You didn't tell me you had a Mary Poppins bag of tricks over there.
My
Oh.
giant.
Well, it just so happens that
I assume Evie's bag has achieved
Oh my God.
like mythical status by now.
Yeah. No, really. If anybody has a giant bag of tricks full of random crap, it's probably me. Chelsea was teasing me the other day about how many rocks I literally just have rocks floating around in my purse. Because I'm a geology nerd and I collect rocks because
it's, it makes a great weapon too when you need it.
That's I think why she
That's
keeps
what
it.
I
Yeah.
said.
You know?
Thank you. I'm glad somebody understands the method of my madness.
Have any of y'all ever seen the movie? It was like a movie made in like the '60s called "It's a Mad, 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 Mad World."
Like the song?
No, it's they did a remake of it called Rat Race, like
Oh.
in the '90s.
Wow, that I could have actually gone to my grave not remembering the movie Rat Race. I don't think I actually saw it. I just remember like the promotions and stuff for it.
Well, there's a character in the show, and her purse is full of coins, and she she waylays people with it because it's a whole race to get this big large amount of money, and so they're all trying to get to the treasure, so to speak. And anyway.
Oh, but
the
isn't it like
purse is a great
Vegas or something? Wait.
The rat race is.
Yeah,
but,
okay, I've
but
seen
this
that.
isn't.
Yeah,
It's in. I think it takes place in like San Diego. So, but I mean, it's got all of the old movie stars, just like Rat Race has a lot of the newer, movie legends. So, like Whoopi Goldberg's in Rat Race, but in the old one, It has Spencer Tracy and Mickey Rooney and I think even Charlie Chaplin makes an appearance, like a cameo in
Oh
it.
my gosh.
And so it was kind of one of those movies that you made for the purpose of just like getting all of the old stars together, But grew up watching that movie, thinking it was just hilarious because it's just a lot of slapstick.
Yeah, I'm with Chelsea. I think I could have gone to my grave without ever remembering that existed. I totally forgot about that. I'm trying to remember. Maybe I saw it. When did I see that? Maybe during COVID? I don't know.
Wow.
Oh, you saw Rat Race during COVID?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
man, you must have really been going through the
The bad
video
part.
library
It was
during
not my
COVID.
movie selection, I will say. It was, I think Jake chose it, if I remember correctly. Or maybe my brother, I don't know.
Were y'all like together at the time, or were you kind of like virtually doing a watch party?
No, we lived together, so, which was really nice because,
Yeah, you had
You know,
a buddy to
being the
watch
quarantine.
Netflix with you.
yeah, it was great. I mean, not great, but you get
You made the
what I
best
mean.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we had been living together for, gosh, I think 2 years at that point. So, yeah.
How long, like, in total had y'all been dating at that point? Like, I mean, from now, like, from engagement to the past.
Over 6 years. So, it was our 6-year anniversary. Actually, like while we were gone at Portrait Society.
Oh, was it
I
really?
felt really bad. Yeah, because it's like our last, I guess, like dating anniversary before we get married this fall. But yeah, today is actually Jake's birthday.
Oh,
so,
happy birthday,
happy
Jake.
birthday.
Happy birthday,
I don't know if
babe.
he's watching, but we should I feel like July, it's just like everyone's birthday. Kelly recently had a birthday. Emma just had her birthday. Evie just had her birthday.
All the Cancer babies.
I
Yeah.
know so many.
Don't you have a birthday coming up?
Mine is on Wednesday.
Monday.
Monday? Is it?
Monday.
Gosh, see, I'm not even paying attention.
What
one
are
of
you
those
gonna do to
birthdays.
celebrate?
Well, it might not be able to celebrate on the day. But you know me. I want my friends around, so I want all the yous around for my birthday.
Yay!
So we might celebrate a little bit later. Oh, and Sam's birthday. Sam's
yeah.
birthday was
Man.
yesterday.
2 days
Oh my God,
ago
was
or
it really?
or- yeah,
Yeah.
yesterday, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right,
yesterday.
that's right. No. Yeah. Yeah, we had that.
Yeah, we had a little
Birthday
group text.
thread.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's honestly like what's the probability of all of us just one
I
birthday
know,
right
it's
after another?
crazy.
I don't know, Maxine's your birthday this month? Oh, thought we were gonna carry on the winning streak here.
Vesper says, I'm a little late, but always good to see people painting.
Oh, well, thanks for joining us. I hadn't heard Alyssa text in yet. Is she on?
No, she hasn't.
Oh, no. Well, I give her a pass for missing one. She's always so loyal to come to all of them.
Is she the one in Australia?
She is, yeah.
That's some commitment.
It is, right? So she's been loyally a part of this group for a while. Maybe she heard Chelsea was coming.
I don't know what that says.
Wow.
Oh, just trying to keep it interesting in here.
That's fired.
Yeah.
If it's easier, I can mute myself and I can just paint, and I'll race ahead of all of you.
Well, that's inevitable anyways.
Well, I don't know, man. We don't want to give your YouTube troll
Oh
any
no!
ground. Gotta let everybody know what we're talking about there.
I don't know. I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't even want to dignify that behavior with a reaction.
I hear you. I agree.
Yeah.
I think that's the smart move.
Let's see. Jolene, I see your comment about not being able to see the model pictures, so let me double check that.
There's something so wonderfully meditative about painting from life. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I can't just recapture it in my own studio. But I love it here, so thank you for having me.
Well, we love having you here, Jim.
Thank you.
By meditative, you mean stressful? Then I agree with you.
Complete and utter anxiety. I'm there.
No, it can be meditative. I think this, to me, feels more meditative than painting those hydrangeas the other week. That was stressful.
It's amazing
this
how
is better.
stressful a flower can be, right?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Flowers are the most stressful.
Whew.
Give me painting from life any day of the week.
I do want to do another one, though. Like, I had fun.
Yeah, they're kind of addicting at the same time.
Yeah, I had stress, but I also had fun, so.
Y'all sound like people who jump out of airplanes. That's my take on this.
I have done exactly that.
That's so
you're
not
spot
surprising
on.
to me.
So you were absolutely spot on.
I have not ever been skydiving, but I do kind of want to do it at some point. My
Oh,
brother
it's-
went, and he had a GoPro, like,
Oh, did he?
on
Yeah.
his face, and
Look at him go.
it was really
Bro.
funny. He had a really long beard at the time, and you could just see like his beard like smushing up into his face as he was falling.
Oh, I can't imagine having a beard doing that because it literally just like wrap around your neck,
Yeah,
you know, and look very awkward.
no, it was a really funny looking video. He sent it to our mom though, which it scared her half to death. But
I'm sure.
Oh gosh, I can only imagine.
Yeah, portraits are fun. I sound like an insane person. But they are.
They are fun. I enjoy them, especially when I start getting it to look like the person.
Yeah.
You guys are doing awesome so far.
Thanks.
thank you.
I like this kind of positive feedback. So feel free to
Yeah, keep it
praise
coming.
me as much as you want, Emma.
No, it's
I'll
just so
take
fun
your
to
encouragement and raise you.
it's just really fun to see the different approaches that you all have to getting started.
A lot of roads to roam.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that's so interesting about something like Portrait Society is like you really see that principle in action.
Yep.
You will watch someone start a painting in a way where you're like, that violates every rule I have ever been told about how to make a successful portrait. And then it'll come out looking incredible.
Yep.
Breaking the rules is half the fun.
Yep. It's one of those like, show me the rules, I show you what to break. But part of that too is like some people who have done it the same way and been taught a certain way, but then were bold enough to go, you know, I'm gonna just do it different just to do it different and try something. And then like, because they have a certain other training under their belt, they're able to like take it to another level in a different direction, which is kind of cool. I think I'll keep busting out a few more brushes. Since Erica's not here, I need to, you know, doing a tribute and homage to her.
Get your crab
and
claw going.
Get my Edward Scissorhands brush hand going.
Did you say effort, scissor hands?
Edward.
Okay. I don't know why I heard effort, but I was like, that still kind of works. I don't know why. It is an effort. I haven't seen that movie in forever. Such a good
It's been a
movie.
while. It's been a while. It's a good movie. There's sometimes though, it's so funny because sometimes I absolutely love Tim Burton stuff, and then there's sometimes where it just makes me, the whole goal, I'm sure, of his is to make you feel uncomfortable, but it absolutely makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, he's definitely good at it.
You know, like I watch it and I'm like awkwardly uncomfortable the whole time watching it. And Edward Scissorhands is one of those where like in parts of it where, you know, like the town and how the landscaping is done in that town
Yeah.
is just so oddly uncomfortable to look at.
Yeah, I kind of love that about it though.
That's what I think that's why a lot of people absolutely love it, is for that very reason. There's something genius about it.
Movies where like the landscape or the setting act as a character in and of itself. I think, I don't know, I think about that in the context of painting a lot of like, okay, if I'm painting an environment, what kind of character is this environment? Like, what is it feeling? And what do I want for it to give, feeling-wise?
Love it.
All right, that is time.
No,
That was quick.
that was
I
very
know.
quick.
So we're going to take another quick model break. We'll be back shortly.
I've been trying my best anyways to avoid alizarin lately.
All right, we're back. We were having an interesting discussion around cadmium red and vermilion.
Yeah.
Caught the end of that.
So for anyone who's interested, the girls were asking me about why, because I was telling them I was going to bust out a little bit of my vermilion. And they're asking why I use that versus cad red. And I was just saying that I like the tinting strength, which is a lower tinting strength, which means it's just not as overpowering of a mixing color in my paint mixtures. So, and the vermilion has a shift in how the red mixes with white, and it makes a really beautiful red color for like lip tones and stuff. So I like to use it a lot for that kind of thing as well.
Nice. Yeah, I feel like reds are something that everybody has something to say about in terms of like what they use and what they don't use and why they do or don't use it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I feel like it's really just better to play around and figure out what you like.
Oh, 100%, yeah. Test all the colors out, all the brands, all the colors.
What brand of vermilion do you get?
This is Natural Pigments.
Nice.
So, and vermilion is one of those interesting things because you hear a lot of people talk about like maybe the fugitive nature of vermilion, like original or Chinese vermilion. I can't remember which one it is. But Georgia Hanlon talks, I think, really pushes that his is much more archival as far as fugitive color is concerned. So that's why. And I've never used another vermilion aside from that because I just really loved how his was. And it's so expensive.
Yeah.
It's by far the most expensive color I have, but I've used it for 7 years. Like I haven't bought a new bottle because it just stays wet forever and I can have it on my palette and it'll stay wet for a week.
Wow, that's nice. That's great. Yeah, I've never used genuine vermilion before, but I have thought about splurging and buying some.
Yeah, love it.
What is your least favorite pigment?
Ooh, that's a good question.
There are some greens out there.
Controversy.
There's some greens that are hard to work with.
Yeah.
Because green can be just such a powerful color, and it just is hard to sometimes mix. But I mean, I have some greens I love too. But like, if I would say there's one that becomes pretty difficult to sometimes play around with, I think that would probably be it.
Which green?
You know the one I stepped on earlier? that green actually is a pretty tough green to work with. It's a form of sap green, but it's a very cold sap green. And I've found it really difficult to work with that one. So I ended up getting a different sap green that was a lot warmer.
Mm.
So maybe it was subconscious that I just hated it so much I had to stamp on it.
But it complements the rug beautifully, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Looks so good in the rug.
Oh, that looks nice. Oh. Nothing. It's just unified a shape.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Yeah, thanks.
So for everyone who has tuned in, we'd love to know what your summer projects have been or any fun trips that you've gone on. Love to hear about it.
Yeah, I just got back from a long trek around the south, starting in the lower part of North Carolina, and then working my way through Georgia to Alabama, and then Mississippi, and then Tennessee, and then Arkansas.
Man.
It was quite the trip. So, and glad to be back, you know. As much fun as it is to kind of go around, see family, and travel for a second, because, you know, sometimes you'll get cabin fever as an artist if you work from home. But as soon you do reach a point in which you're like, you know, being back at my house is not that bad. So being back in my own bed, it was a lot of fun.
How
What?
excited was Rosie to see you when you got back?
Actually, Rosie came along.
I was just going to ask that if she
Really?
came or not. That's
Yep.
great.
Yeah, more and more we treat that dog like our human daughter. So
Okay.
she comes wherever we go usually. So our families have big homes and big yards with other pets, and so she just goes and sees her cousins. That's just kind of how that works.
Okay, so I'll amend my question. How excited was she to see Mom when she came back?
Mom came too.
Oh,
Teresa came the whole
man.
with. It was a whole family
It
excursion.
was quiet for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Very quiet here.
But you're
was-
welcome to rephrase the question again if you want and try another route.
Wow.
I'm trying to think of where I could take it.
I mean, we were all excited when you came back, so there's that.
Well, I will say all of her dog cousins were very excited to see her, and she was really excited to see them.
Oh.
So, and that part was a lot of fun. 'Cause-
Is she, you know, I wouldn't say she's like shy, but like, she's reserved.
Mhm.
You know, she's very intentional about how she spends time with people. Is she that way with dogs too?
busts out of her shell.
Really?
She just gets so excited.
Aww.
But then after she does about 16 zoomies with them, she's like, okay, I'm over it. And then we'll go and like chill out for a little bit in the corner.
Yeah.
But no, she gets so excited that she starts like kind of like squealing when we tell her that she's going to go see her cousin Rex, and and she like looks around as soon as we say the word Rex. She's just like looking everywhere for Rex. So she knew Rex before she knew us, because it was my brother-in-law who fostered her before we adopted her. And so they were like sort of all living in the same place. And the only reason that my brother-in-law got the dog is because that was the only one Rex would play with, and that was playing with Rex.
Oh.
So she knows Rex really well.
Mm.
So that was a lot of fun. We saw some really great fireworks. We went to my in-laws' lake house, and man, they do fireworks right for 4th of July. I mean, I felt like I was at Disney World.
Nice.
Yeah. Everyone goes out on the lake, and they park their boats right in the middle of the lake, and then they have them go off. And it's really cool.
That sounds fun.
That was a lot of fun. Oh, and then they have like a radio station that pairs with
Oh, so it
Amazing.
really is like Disney World.
yeah,
Nice.
it is. Minus the rides, but yeah, jet skis.
I've always felt kind of like the Scrooge of 4th of July, because I like to watch fireworks when I'm like, I don't know, on a lake or like at the shore or something. But being in Durham in the middle of a pine forest and hearing everybody fire off their fireworks, I'm just like a little ball of anxiety.
I can understand that.
Like, why? Why would you do it? It's a forest. Please don't.
I can understand that. Yeah, especially if there's like a drought season going on too and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Growing up, our next door neighbors, they used to make their own fireworks.
What?
And they had this
That's next
absolute,
level.
yeah, it was so intense. They had this insane display, and it's right next door. My parents, well, I grew up way out in the country, and the back, like 10 acres, is just grass fields. And they would park an old fire truck out back and have someone like monitoring for the fires because
wow.
they're exploding like over our property, over the house. Yeah, it was very intense.
Wow.
I'd usually be in the garage with the animals, like trying to keep them calm.
That's so sweet.
So one year, my uncle for the 4th of July decided that he was just going to go all out. He had this massive party, and I bet you he spent like, I don't even want to know, probably like $3,000 on fireworks. Like he spent so much money on fireworks. And so he had all the ones that were like the big cannon ones that you would see, you know, with the make the really big ones up in the sky. And if you've ever dealt with those, they're like a bulb that sits on this like tiny little cylinder that's probably just full of gunpowder. And then they have this massive fuse that's about 1.5 feet long, and you throw it into a cylinder, and then you light it, and then you run away, right? And then it shoots up in the sky. Well, it comes usually with like a set of like a dozen bulbs that are all kind of like, look like they're eggs next to each other in this like little cardboard section. And all of the fuses are wrapped around each one of them. And so he's like, hey, Lewis, how about you unravel all of these bulbs while I work with these other people, and you just get them ready for us to be able to shoot them off.
Oh no.
And then he gets the crazy idea of, you know, those little spinning lotus fireworks that you can buy that you just light up and they're like pink, and you like lay them down and they spin and they make what looks like a little fiery lotus flower.
Like on the ground?
Yeah. they
Yeah.
kind of go bzzz.
I'm getting an entire
Yeah.
fireworks lesson right now.
Well, he decides that he's going to light one of those in his hand and throw it. And while he did that, the fuse burned his hand. He goes, ouch, and he throws it into the entire pile of those bulbs. And the thing just goes, bzzz.
Oh, wow.
And everything else was slow-mo after that point. You know, you're
Was
like,
it a
it's
split
just like,
second of clarity of everyone?
you know. And so we're just jumping and trying to find any cover we possibly could, and they just start going off and just in every direction, and the huge explosions. We're talking like the ones that are the big ones in the sky. Yeah. Well, no one was hurt, so it made a memory, but it could have been way worse.
My dad always goes really full out for fireworks on New Year's. And there was one time, he lives like way out in the middle of the country in Maryland. And there was one time he got these ones that like you fire them up and there's like a little like army man that comes out of it with like a little parachute that'll like float, float back to the
I
ground.
think I have seen that one before.
So he lit one of those and the parachute caught fire. So it's just like a flaming ball that's like returning to the ground. And, you know, it's January in Maryland, it's cold. So I have a hoodie on. It lands in the back of my hood.
No.
And I don't realize it. And my hair starts catching fire.
Oh, Evie.
Oh.
Yeah, I was okay though. Didn't get hurt, thankfully.
Yeah, I have so many of these kinds of stories, man. Growing up on, like, sounds like a lot of us had similar, you know, rural stories of like growing up on farms and, you know, getting into all sorts of shenanigans. Uncle had some dynamite and he put it down in the
I feel like
Put
this
it down
is
in the
just
river. It just
escalating.
got like a rifle one time. This was like Christmas time, and we just shot the rifle at it. We were like several hundred yards away. But it
Nothing
was
like that.
who can-
Christmas dynamite.
So it just got worse and worse. There's
I want to
another
come to
story
your
that-
family's Christmas. Man, that sounds like fun.
Would you believe there's another story that I will not share on air? That I will share later.
I would believe
is- that it was pretty wild.
I bet you were like that kid that had a closet full of like bottle rockets.
I love fireworks. I probably did. Yes. Probably did.
There was a weird product in the 90s that was based on bottle rockets, but I haven't thought about this like ever. It had no like pyrotechnics to it. It was called Stomp Rocket, and it had like this like inflatable balloon thing that you stomp on, and it shoots up a rocket into the air.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah. Like, was it like with water or air?
It was just with air.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
My brothers and I got so many of those things stuck on the roof of my mom's house growing up. She had to hire somebody to climb up there and get them
Oh man.
because we didn't have a ladder tall enough.
The amount of trouble that you got in and didn't want to go in to tell mom, and you had to like draw straws.
Yeah.
Who was going to go in
Oh,
and
yeah.
tell mom, And so like you're building the ramp with your bike that, and like then your friend just like jumps over the edge and like his arm goes backwards, and you're like, okay, quick. You like look at each other and you're like, oh, get some leaves. Like you think you're gonna heal something with leaves. And so then you're like, all right, who's gonna go in and tell mom? And so finally you're like elected and you're like, come in, and you're like, hi mom. Well, how's it going?
So here's the thing.
Okay. You know Mike. Oh, I guess you do, Mike. Mike, he's your son. You know how his arm goes this way? Well, it doesn't do that anymore. It goes this way, So, if you were just going home, going to the store or something in town, if maybe you could take him to the hospital.
If it's on your way.
If it's on your way. Why at the store get some peanut butter?
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
We had that a few times with our trampoline. We would get the idea to set it up under the chicken coop or something so we could jump off the chicken coop onto the trampoline.
Oh yeah.
And we'd always end up launching someone way far off the trampoline. Ugh.
I wanted a trampoline so bad as a kid, but my mom
Rightfully.
rightfully and
Vetoed
repeatedly
that one.
refused that request.
I worked out at a parkour gym for a while.
Did you really? Mm-hmm. That's cool.
I was never brave enough to do actual parkour. I took hand balancing classes there, kind of like circus adjacent stuff. And the owner of the gym was my hand balancing teacher, and he also managed a trampoline park here in the area, and he was like, the most dangerous piece of equipment in the world is a trampoline.
Yes.
Never, ever, ever, ever get on one.
That's so funny.
I actually have been to one of those places where it's just a giant warehouse that's completely full of trampolines. Yeah.
It might have been managed by him.
I'm sure Maxine's just biting her lip with all the stories that she has growing up. It's just like, just wait till I get on break.
Well, it is time.
Oh, look at that. Perfect
It is
timing.
perfect timing. Thank you so much, Maxine. Go ahead and take a break, and we'll be back shortly.
Thank
at least we're entertaining.
Hey everyone, we're back. Thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to send in any questions that you might have. Millie's here. She says, hello
Millie. Hey,
everyone.
Millie.
I'm
Thanks for
Millie.
joining, Millie.
Oh, it's again 111 degrees in Phoenix.
Mm,
That's so brutal.
it is brutal. Gosh. I do not envy you.
What time is it in Phoenix?
I guess it's
3 hours.
4:30.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so like the heat of the day.
Yeah.
I always admire Scott Burdick for how he can just slop paint on to a
Especially
canvas.
like first layer.
Yeah,
It's first
like that-
layer.
Like I feel like I'm like throwing a half a tube on here, and then it goes on, and it's like, meh.
It's
You
like
know,
a
it's like-
not even a
it's-
millimeter thick.
Yeah,
go.
it's like you can see straight through it.
That was my big takeaway from our like thick and thin day or whatever we called it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I need to do that exercise about 100 more times.
Yeah.
Where you just squeeze out a half a tube of paint, and then you have to put it all on there.
Yeah.
That feels so stressful.
It's liberating when you know that's what the requirement is. It is very stressful when you're trying to control your painting, and you're absolutely right. Like, stresses me out thinking about it, but then when you do it, it's actually kind of fun. It's like finger painting or something. Like you just like kind of like, okay, I'm gonna get in. Let's do this.
Still, I was like so surprised by how thin that painting was.
Yep.
We need to go paint with Scott.
Yes, we do. We were invited to.
Yeah.
We'll need to set up a time sometime when they get back from, I think they're traveling Europe at the moment.
Ooh, that's right. Yeah, I've been seeing all kinds of posts lately.
Yeah, I'd really like to meet him and Susan
Oh,
and talk
they're-
about India. Oh my gosh, their
Oh,
paintings
they would
Oh,
have a
man.
in
blast.
India are so
Yeah.
beautiful.
They love India so much. I think it's been a while since they've been back too. Like I think that, that they were going for quite a few times, and then like I think they've kind of taken a bit of a break.
Well, certainly during COVID, it wasn't feasible.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I haven't been back since COVID either.
Evie was just telling me that they would like to go back sometime in the near future.
Yeah, I think
Ooh.
Jake and I, for our honeymoon, we're thinking of going back to Goa,
Okay.
which would be really great. We've got a really dear friend. She and her family live in Goa, and it'd be really fun to get to see them in person again. We video chat all the time, but
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, that would be awesome. Where in
Yeah.
Goa are they?
They live in Mapsa.
Oh.
And Jake and I previously stayed in a town called Candolim,
Mm-hmm.
which has a lot of like the Portuguese architectural influence all throughout, and it's really gorgeous. You'd get like a lot of the Portuguese churches and stuff, and then right down the road would be an incredible Hindu temple. Yeah, I would love to go back there and paint.
Yeah, that's.
I was really sad I didn't bring my paints with me the first time we went.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've taken the bus and the train through there, but I've never spent time.
It's so pretty. They have a really cool night market that they do every Saturday.
Oh, I miss it.
I bet you do. You and Danny ever considering going for an excursion back?
Yeah, we'd love to. We don't have any plans, but
Mm-hmm.
we'd love to. Yeah, we've got
Yeah.
such good friends there.
And that's where y'all met, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's where we met.
I didn't know that. Aw,
Yeah, we met in Goa.
it's a small world.
It's a small world. I have yet to go to India, but it is on the bucket list.
It's honestly really just the most colorful place on earth. Like literally, physically, there's just bright color everywhere. There's such a color culture that just, yeah, it's kind of a painter's dream.
Yeah, it really is. I feel like all the senses, it's like all the colors, all the smells, all the sounds.
Yeah.
So we have a couple questions. The first, Gail asks, do you guys get very much violent or extreme weather where you are?
Well, we were having some stormy weather today.
We get hurricanes.
Yeah, I guess that counts.
Yeah.
I will say that the 7 years that I've been here.
Oh no, please don't jinx this.
Get ready.
Wherever you're going, be careful.
They say that a lot, and where they're like, this hurricane's going to be the worst one. And I mean it's going to hit dead center. And we have been fortunate that it has not been as bad as the news broadcasters were saying it was going to be. So hopefully that doesn't jinx us. But
I know where I'm taking my pitchfork.
A few years ago, I lived in an apartment in downtown Durham. When Hurricane I think it was Hurricane Matthew hit. So it would have been 2017, I think.
okay.
I lived on the top floor of my apartment building, and it was like the last unit on the floor. So it was like the farthest away from like, you know, the main lobby or whatever downstairs. And yeah, I had chunks of ceiling falling. And had to evacuate my apartment. And that was scary. I like grabbed my cat, loaded my cat up. And
That's the thing that scares me the most during hurricanes is like,
don't forget the cat.
yeah. It's like all my stuff, like paintings, it's fine. But yeah. So you got your cat.
I got my cat. I drove through the hurricane to my mom's house down the road and crashed there for a few days because there was not falling ceiling at my mom's house.
That's good. It's a good place to start.
Right. Yeah, we do occasionally get hurricanes that hit hard. It doesn't happen every year. Sometimes it is kind of a scenario of like, you know, they'll tell us, oh, this is gonna be really bad, and everybody goes crazy and they buy all of the water and all of the things from all of the stores, and then there's nothing. So you never really
you
know.
gotta make your milk bread sandwiches.
What?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Yeah, okay. So the joke is that
It was funny.
it's like milk and bread are like the things that immediately are gone
Yep.
in a hurricane,
Oh.
and it's like,
Yeah,
what are
right,
people
okay.
doing with these? And the joke is that they're making milk bread sandwiches.
Okay.
It's hilarious.
Thank you for the explanation.
Yeah, happy to help. I mean, the least you can do when you make a joke that no one gets.
Yeah.
is
Of course, you know
explain.
after that point, you're like, it's not going to be funny
Yeah.
now, but I got to explain it.
Louis doesn't know what that's like at all.
There's so many times I'm just like, you know, like the thing. Never mind. I will just accept defeat.
Oh, it's so nice when a portrait starts like looking like a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that too.
Yeah.
Tell me when it gets there.
Yeah. Just gonna keep fighting the good fight.
I'm trying to figure out if I can avoid putting cadmium out on here or if I can get her eyeshadow with just...
Yeah, I'm really having a lot of fun with the eyeshadow. Like, I wish I could get my eyeliner to do that. Getting
Well,
these
I
like
can get my
peachy reds
eyeliner to
though,
do
it's
that.
really fun.
I'm just so lazy and don't want to reach into my thing to get this other tube of paint that maybe I need.
We have another question. What shaped brushes do you all like? I love round brushes and sometimes dagger brushes when doing plein air.
I think everything I'm using right now is a filbert. If I have a flat, it's sheerly out of it was the right size.
I'm using rounds, flats, filberts. I'm using kind of a little bit of everything at this moment. I use flats to soften edges in an odd way, like where I might be going across a form. And they're good for that. They're good for hair, but sometimes like I'll also use a round for getting into like doing more detail work. So, but I'm trying to keep this painting a little bit more unified and soft and kind of getting more of an overall impression in this painting. It's the kind of the goal. So I try hard to do different things each time I do one of these PFLs. It's not for me to demonstrate always exactly what I like to do or what I do. It's more about me using this as an opportunity to practice and have a good time with friends and to interact with our audience. So that's what I'm experimenting with today.
Thanks for making that happen. I love getting to come and experiment and enjoy a great model and be with you
Right?
all.
Yeah, Maxine's she's killing it.
Right now I'm just using a teeny round on trying to get some more detail into the eyes.
First, I thought you were suggesting that you were using a teeny round for like the entire painting, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's my secret. I just
It's how I
paint with the
slowly.
smallest brush possible. No, I have been using what I had I had some cat's tongues I was using for a second. I've just got some normal
It's like a filbert, but
cat
sharper at
tongue
the
filbert.
edge.
It's here, like these two guys, for those who are online. They're like pointed filberts. Yeah, I like using those on like lips. But a lot of people use them more so in like botanical painting and stuff like that. But yeah, I like them. And then aside from that, I don't actually think I have used a flat yet this whole time, surprisingly. Yeah, just normal other filberts.
How much time do we have left in this session?
We have 4 minutes.
4 minutes. Yeah, I don't know how. I think I've only gotten several cat's tongues ever, but I haven't really tried them. I need to give them a go.
Yeah, I like them. I don't have too many of them, but the ones that I do have, I actually end up reaching for more than I ever really thought I would. Um, Especially like, I don't know, on things like drapery, they're really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if anybody out there has any thoughts on those, I'd be curious to hear what they think. I feel like some people really love them, some folks maybe less so, but you know, to each their own. I know Erica uses them fairly
Fairly
frequently. Yeah.
Has anyone heard how Erica's trip is going?
I haven't.
She sent me a video like a few hours ago that I haven't seen yet, but I think she's having a great time from what I've heard. She sent me a very sweet little happy birthday message
Oh,
Oh, that's
a
so
few days
nice.
ago. How are we on time?
40 seconds.
Oh, okay.
I feel like you guys are really good at calling it like right as the 20 minutes are just about up.
it's where, like, yeah, I start getting that anxiety, you know, where it's like, I don't think I'm gonna have enough time to get this thing in. So I've started thinking that's like the sort of artistic clock in my head
Yeah,
counting
right.
down.
All right, that is time for another model break. Thank you so much, Maxine. You're doing great.
Yes, she is.
Yay.
And thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll be back shortly.
Do I want to wear glasses for the rest of this? Or no?
How does that impact your painting?
I see
Usually.
small shapes,
Mm.
and I will be tempted to paint them.
Mm-hmm.
But some details are much more clear. Like, as far as like, oh, I can really clarify this shape. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's kind of the trick is seeing where you can get specificity without succumbing to temptation.
I've gotten to the point where I have to wear glasses. Otherwise, I can't see anything. It's really sad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Could you work partially without them for a time?
For a really rough block in.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had people telling me that I might need to get my eyes checked
You
a lot
absolutely
more.
need to get your eyes checked. You know why I know?
Why?
This last like PFL where we talked about this, you tried on my glasses and you're like, wow, I can see the model better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna wait till after my wedding though.
Yeah, they do make this thing
yeah.
called contacts, you know, that you don't
No,
have-
okay, stop. No. I have worn like novelty colored contacts before just for fun, and I could not figure out how to take them out. And I literally had to call my dad
Oh,
to be like,
goodness.
Dad, how do I take these out? And he just laughed at me for like 30 minutes.
Just because you have glasses doesn't mean you have to wear them. Like, you could get them, but then not.
Yeah, that's my problem. And then I end up losing them all day long, every day. And then I need people like Emma that I can go, where the heck are my glasses? And she goes, I don't know. Did you check this place? I mean, that's why I married my wife. She's like, oh, she has a Rolodex of the entire house. She's just like, oh, they're behind the corner of the couch on the right side, underneath the thing over on the. It's like, how did you even know that? Were you looking there? Like, where? You know, she's pretty awesome like that. We complement each other well.
Indeed, you do.
But that is her superpower. That and names. She can remember everyone's name.
She strikes me as someone who'd be great at remembering names.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see
So
it.
good at it.
I wish I had that superpower. I
Man,
don't. Definitely
You
don't.
also strike me as someone who should be good with names, Louie.
I should be.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in the business to be, but, you know, but no, it's kind of like, you know, John's coming up close to me and I'm like, John, it's John, right? Yeah, it's John. Okay, John, you know, I'm just like, whew, glad
Well,
I got that right.
You definitely would make up for any kind of like blunder or gaffe just with your like incredible friendly nature. So
Oh, well, that's sweet of you to say.
yeah. So I guess if anyone has to be cursed with not being good with names, like I'm sure you do fine.
Yeah, you know, it's just a lot of like buckaroo and, you know, hey, buckaroo,
Hey,
how's it
you.
going, partner? Hey, friend.
Oh man. I'm gonna have to like look out for that next portrait society or something.
Luckily, at Portrait Society, everyone there is name tags. So
Oh yeah.
That's true.
that's so helpful for me.
Just make sure you have your glasses on.
Yes, there you go. See? I like that. Good comeback. Touche, Emma, touche. That was good.
Millie says, paintings are looking beautiful. And then she asks, any tips when painting dark skin tones? Sometimes the highlights can be intimidating for me. Capturing dark skin tones are challenging, but so much fun.
I love painting dark skin tones because they just are so rich with color.
Yeah.
and the color range is in their value range, you know, so like it works in two different ways, you know, all of the rich higher chroma colors are lower in the value range, so it gives you a chance to like push things. So the thing I would say with skin tone is just like training your eye to see more color in the skin tones in the first place. Which that's the harder challenge, period.
Yeah.
So, what do you think, Chelsea?
No, I think you nailed it. I think like as an extension of that, one thing I was noticing is that I hesitate to say this because it's the kind of thing that people ask for all the time. They're like, oh, what are your flesh tone mixtures? Mm-hmm. And we absolutely like to pretend that we don't have them whatsoever, but like if you paint white people all day, you absolutely do. Like it's going to be, you know, for me it's some blend of like Terra Rosa, yellow ochre, and titanium white, and then bring the chroma down with probably ultramarine or viridian depending on the person. So even though it's not like a perfect formula, you do get kind of used to those things. I think practice is the other thing, is you start developing a little bit of a shorthand that saves some time the more you actually do paint a variety of skin tones. But you're spot on with like just how much more colorful and fun it can be, and like that explanation of the value ranges. Yeah, I mean, you nailed it.
Yeah, I think with you know, there's really two interesting ways you can approach skin tone. You can approach skin tone with the environment, or you can approach skin tone with the local color of the person, and then exchange the environment or adapt the environment, because everything is color relationships. And so what a lot of people don't talk about is that you can, it's kind of like on your camera, when you have a white balance, your white balance is based off of gray. And so you take the shot of gray, and then all the color readjusts itself. However, you could adjust it really warm or really cool, and everything still works, right? Well, the same thing with this, your white balance could be that your standard is that the skin color is this like local color that you see, but then you have to adapt the environment so that the skin color pops like the right way and looks like it belongs in an environment that was similar to what you were seeing. Or you can adapt the whole environment and then, or paint a whole environment and then adapt the skin tone to be according to the environment. And that's where you would get out of the formulaic field. Whereas with what you're saying is that, you know, like you have the skin tone color that's like on the formulaic side. It's because we see a local color and we go, okay, it's absolutely in this range, and then we adapt the environment to apply to what we create that skin tone to be. But that's like a more advanced answer for people starting out. I kind of agree with you, Chelsea, is that like it's better to start out understanding how some of the formulaic colors actually apply to warm and cools on the face, and then learning how to create relatability of the environment with that. So it's one of those things where there's not necessarily a right answer, but there's a lot of wrong pitfalls that you can get yourself in trouble with.
I think one thing that probably is worth emphasizing though is it can be really helpful to like really take the time to identify what is the value of the lightest light or the highlight on the skin, and actually like color matching. So one thing that you all don't get to really see us do much of, because it happens before we go live, is we will do a lot of pre-mixing of colors. I didn't really do any of this today, but to save time. Erica especially is like really
Yeah.
proactive about this when she's in our painting from life sessions. She will take her palette knife and she will pre-mix some of the skin tones to give her a base to start off with. And what's great about having the knife is that you can literally mix up your color, hold it up to the model, and assuming that your light is consistent in the space, you should see the color you've mixed up visually disappear into the skin tone in that area. And actually doing that to check the value of your color mixture for things like highlights and for things like shadows can help you avoid accidentally going in with like a glaring white highlight for someone with a darker skin tone.
Yeah,
I think that's a really good suggestion.
I agree. I love the aha moments when you've been working for years on trying to figure that kind of thing out, and then you have it's just like in anything, you have breakthroughs and plateaus, and then there's this like moment you'll have where you'll have a breakthrough on understanding color, and it gets really exciting because all of a sudden things are starting to make more sense to you. And I remember it wasn't incredibly long ago. It was about maybe 7 years ago. I had one of those where I was just like, oh, wait, if I did it this way and did that, then, oh, this would happen. And you have to go through the plateaus and hours log to get to having some of those eureka moments. But I feel like those are why those people sometimes make the better teachers, is because there's some people it just kind of naturally happens. They're like, well, I don't know, it just happened. And this happened because this happened. And but the people who kind of like struggled but then had like that aha moment, that those people sometimes really get an opportunity to share a new insight to people, like how you got there, or how to get there, even.
It's so strange being able to like hear all the birds outside. It feels like we shouldn't be able to hear them from in here.
Also, like, what time is it? It's like 8 o'clock, and
8.
we have birds chirping.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
They tend to do that right around sunset, right?
Mm-hmm. I guess it is sunset-y time now, right now at 8.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting, like, summer's so different than winter, because winter it's like 4. And then in the summer it's literally 8 o'clock.
Well, it
Sunset's going
was,
down.
yeah, it was so dark this afternoon with the storm. So it
yeah.
felt a lot later.
That's true.
Aw, Millie says, thank you so much for all your answers. You are the best.
Well, Amelia, you're the best. I'm so glad you're with us tonight.
Okay.
You got this, Chelsea.
Thanks.
Put those glasses on.
Yeah.
So we have about 3 minutes left in this session. And then after this, I guess we'll have like 2 more sessions.
Okay. Two more sessions to screw it all up.
No, you've got this.
The tricky thing about the upper lash line is that the eyelashes
Mm-hmm.
soften it.
Yep.
And if your edge is too hard,
Yep.
something looks
thinking about that
wrong.
earlier. Yep.
But you gotta like really ride that line carefully of softening it. Like I didn't do just there.
I was thinking about that exact thing a few minutes ago. Like making sure you're paying attention to those lashes, but
It's really one of my
You
like
know.
portrait pet peeves. Like I can look at a really beautiful portrait, but if they've painted that line just like a little too heavy-handed, it kind of kills it for me.
I think the eyeliner is kind of a fun challenge though, like trying to like still use those principles but also get the design of the eyeliner.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that is time for another model break.
all right, everybody, we'll be back in just a few.
Okay, everyone, we're back. Be sure to write in with any other questions that you might have. We'd love to answer them for you.
Everybody's in crunch mode now.
Yeah,
know.
everybody's
I
like
know.
concentrating, not talking. That is painting from life for you right there, at its finest.
It's the last two sessions at its finest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, I really like, I don't know if it's just my eye or not. But for me, her hair, right, as it sits over the like boundary with the white background. For me, it's on the left, but it's not on the right. It like passes through blue, like a
Yep.
really chromatic blue.
Get it in there.
Yeah,
It's your chance.
deal.
Was that thunder?
Yep.
Ooh.
I'm here for it. My plants, my poor plants.
Oh yeah.
I know, same.
My tomatoes are
Oh no.
not having the best of times right now. But my chili peppers are happy. They can handle the heat.
You would hope.
Yeah.
But I'm bummed.
Pepper jokes.
I would say I'm here all night, but I'm here for the next hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chelsea, that blue looks gorgeous.
Thanks. Thanks for cheering me on.
Oh, yeah, totally. They're all looking so good. So beautiful.
Well, it cheapens it when you compliment everyone else too.
Yeah.
Wow. It's just, please forgive me.
That was good.
That was good.
Well, now you say that, I don't really care about your compliments.
I'll
much
just take back
sass
all
tonight.
of my compliments.
Oh, that'd be
No more
great.
compliments for you
Yeah,
guys.
you're like, I'm done.
Can't win.
Complimented out.
Okay, I guess I should fix this eye problem.
Yeah, I'll go to everything to avoid the eye sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Feeling that a little bit right
It's
now.
not bad. It's just, it's not everything it could be.
I'll just compliment Maxine on being a fantastic model tonight.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's worth
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's worth it. There's every bit of that in spades.
Millie has another question. She says, question to add more stress to the last minute. Can each one of you share a fun or weird request or experience you have while painting someone's commission portrait?
Okay, can you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah. Can each one of you share a fun or weird request or experience you have had while painting someone's commission portrait?
Interesting. Thank you for torturing all of us equally with that question. I love that. I think we have to start with Lewis, though.
Oh man. Trying to think. I had one client that just wanted, like, really, really badly wanted to make sure I added a ladybug.
Oh.
You know, I've done two figure commissions, wives for their husbands. So, like, nude commissions.
I've been asked for a
what-
few of those lately. I'm kind of glad to hear that that's like actually more normal than I maybe expected.
Yeah, well, normal enough to say that out of, you know, several hundred commissions, I've had two. But
Yeah, okay.
you know, but I mean, that's still a number, you know.
Yep.
Not that wasn't to shoot anything down. It's just, you know, to make sure that they're still slim, but there's a precedent there that you can hold on to.
Sure, yeah. Okay. I made the mistake of painting a blue-eyed person and kind of blocking it in with like just a general tone. And then they looked at the painting and saw the eyes weren't blue and then weren't happy until they looked like they were straight out of Dune.
Ooh.
So I learned several lessons from that commission. I don't show people paintings in progress anymore.
No, never. Yeah.
Because the desire for feedback or to give feedback winds up creating this whole like feedback loop that just causes a lot of problems. But also, make sure that you fix an eye color before you let someone take a look at the portrait.
Yeah, that's rough because that's absolutely something that I learned my lesson very young.
Yeah.
I was probably 19 and had a client that just was every moment coming back over to check to see how the progress was going. And then after that point, I was like, okay, I'm going to make a policy.
Yep.
Starting today, that they can never see the painting until the unveiling. And then if they want tweaks from that point, then they're welcome to talk then.
Yeah. I had a similar experience that taught me the same lesson where she actually wanted to come and sit down next to me and watch me make about 2 hours worth of corrections.
That's also like very rude, I feel.
There's only
I don't
one
know.
case where that's different, where the actual product that I'm selling is a live sitting of their child. And they get to, part of the idea of it is they get to be a part of the experience.
Yeah.
But I've never had a client really in that scenario, like, have an issue with how it was going. But
Yeah. Yeah, my experience with that was also like one where I was very young, and I think that would have gone differently if I had just been at a different life experience level, not necessarily painting experience level.
yeah, yeah. That's just, I think, something that a lot of artists learn over time. you
Yeah.
know. Just a good life lesson there.
Evie, you're not off the hook.
You're like, damn it.
Let's see. I had one a few years ago that a mother had commissioned a portrait of their daughter, and I got some feedback on it that was like, "No, she looks too happy."
Oh.
Usually I have the other opposite
yeah.
effect because I'm like trying to get them to be moody. and-
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want
no,
that classical portrait look, so.
Really didn't know how to respond to that. But I was like, I can make her look less happy. All right. So be it. Otherwise, I don't know. I've never really had any commissions that were like particularly strange and like what they were or like subject wise.
Mm.
Oh,
Oh, no.
I have a good one, but I just don't know if I should share it on camera. Like a really good one.
I'm down.
Yeah, I feel like you can't just leave it there, Chelsea.
And we will be, stay tuned after the break.
No, it's more just like I don't, on like the very slim chance that somehow the person who reached out about this is like watching, I like don't want anyone to
I
feel
hear you.
awkward or
Yeah.
embarrassed.
No,
I hear
that's,
that.
Yeah.
that's fair.
Well, we'll leave on this note then. I have had a commission situation that turned into a situation where I had to get a restraining order on the person.
Oh
and
no.
yeah, it turned into a legit stalker situation, and you know, Evie's heard the
Yeah,
whole
I heard
story.
that story. It's a doozy.
So, but yeah, I mean, it started off her wanting a figure piece, and then like her literally calling me. Have y'all seen the Netflix show? I think it's called Baby Reindeer.
Yeah.
It felt very similar to that show.
I watched it since you mentioned this story to me previously, and yeah, it made my skin crawl.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I was so weirded out. It was crazy. It was when I was in college. So makes me have a lot of empathy for any females who have gone through situations that were scary, because it was probably the first time that, you know, I've experienced something that allows me to at least understand, you know.
Yeah.
How much time do we have left?
We have 6 minutes.
He just really wants to hear my story.
I'm ready. But I also understand if you don't want to do it because of the whole reason.
Yeah.
The off the air tea.
Man, I am just putting paint down and accomplishing nothing in this little section. And I don't love that for me. It's like not great. We're going back classes off.
Glasses off.
Okay, that does help some. I didn't. That was bad.
I love the play-by-play.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Happy
No,
to
no,
provide
no.
it. For anyone curious and you wanted to know if that mark was good or not, it wasn't. It was not the move.
Man, I can hear the rain.
Isn't that something?
It's wild. I'm not looking forward to driving home in this.
I know, I was just
Oh.
gonna say that.
Is Jake playing tonight or this week?
He is about to leave town, actually.
I thought you said you had a gig tonight,
Huh?
right? Didn't you say he had a gig tonight?
No, he's working at the School of Rock.
Oh, okay.
But his band is getting ready to go on tour in Ireland.
Nice.
But next week he's working with his music students at a out-of-town music summer camp.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
So yeah, he'll get to chaperone a bunch of kids. Lots of fun. It will be fun. They're good kids. Their talent always just blows me away. It's crazy.
Oh, I bet.
What is it that he teaches?
Honestly, a little bit of everything. He teaches drums, guitar, bass, vocals, keys. I think that's it. Unless I'm forgetting an instrument. But yeah, he's a man of many musical talents.
That's awesome.
One of these days I'll get him in here to model for us.
Oh, that would be fun.
He really
Awesome.
wants to. It's with his schedule, it can be a little tricky to
Certainly.
get him in on a weeknight, but he definitely wants to.
I have this like one hair in this brush that keeps scraping the paint off while all the other hairs are doing just fine. And it creates this one little streak, and it is so freaking annoying.
The real painting problems.
Yeah.
Because it's like everything else is looking so smooth, and then that one little guy just comes to ruin all, make all your problems happen.
This is still second to last, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's correct.
Great. Okay, that's like some good thunder. I know that y'all can't like hear it on.
Actually,
I
I bet you
can
they
hear
can.
it,
I bet
so
you they
they
can.
can hear
it,
Yeah.
yeah.
I bet it picks up.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny, I was talking to my wife when she was coming home from work today, and like it sounded like it struck right next to her. Like it was like, she's like, "You hear that?" And I was like, "You okay?" All right, everybody, that's time. And one more session left after this. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Thanks so much, everyone, for joining us. Hi everyone, we're back. Got a final 16 minutes left. I'm imagining it's going to be a very quiet 16 minutes. Everyone tries to finish up their paintings.
Oh, that's so pleasant though. Yeah, I feel like we could just start a whole ASMR channel situation thing
Yep.
with the thunder.
Just get Erica on here, like mixing her colors. Just-
Yep.
Yeah, the way that her palette sounds.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty great.
Although, I don't know, ASMR kind of freaks me out.
I don't like sanding. Sanding is the worst sound in the world. And if
people are,
anyone,
like get into the like sanding on. No, I put like forks scratching on plates up there.
Ugh.
It's like one of
That
the worst
sounds
sounds in the
terrible.
world.
You
Yeah.
like that?
No, I'm
Oh,
saying
oh,
she said
okay,
worst
okay.
sounds in the world. I was like, I'm sorry, that one's got to be.
Yeah.
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 I mean, you're right, that is horrendous. I also hate the sound of styrofoam, but I think what's weird is that people like the sound of sanding on ASMR videos. As far as I know, people don't go out of their way to request forks scratching. Although that would, man, that's a masochist right
Yeah,
there.
you're right. Yeah, that's next level. There's somebody out there probably loves it. You know?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever watched a single ASMR video. I don't think I ever will.
Well, if you've watched Bob Ross, he's the king of ASMR.
Does that count? I
They-
don't know
they
that it
consider him the
counts.
founding father of it.
I
A
think
lot of people
it's.
discovered it through that.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
I guess I never really thought about it like that.
Okay. What do I want to accomplish? Man, there's a teeny tiny highlight in our eye. Would it be really stupid?
I know, I was thinking the same.
We're just like synced up.
I'm telling you, we really
Are
are.
you about to get
You're
your
just
period
saying
too?
my thoughts today. Can't you just say? Did I miss something?
I made a
Yeah.
joke just for Emma.
What?
And everyone else listening.
What? Oh man, I'm in the dark on that one.
Everyone's fast. Thank you for being a good sport with my joke. That's all that matters.
Oh, is it something you said?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
said, I was like, what did I say that was weird?
No.
Oh, no, it was Chelsea.
Oh man.
I missed it too, if it makes you feel any better.
Okay.
Got my super powerful headphones on here. I can
Yep.
catch it all.
Kind of want to put it in the highlight though.
I
I'm gonna
know.
do it.
I think I'm going to do it.
Does that mean that I have to do it?
No. This is a mistake that both Louis and I are about to make.
We have a comment and question from Benjamin. He says, such beautiful hair. Do exquisite features like that intimidate you as an artist, having to paint up to the beauty of the model?
Oh
Yes.
man. There are so many artists that I know at like Portrait Society that say, I want an ugly old model. That's what they'll say. I want
That's
somebody.
terrible.
I know. I'm like really surprised by that because I feel like artists are the first people to like really enjoy and like actively find like so many different forms of beauty and like
Well, I think
appreciate-
I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you.
Oh no. Yeah, that was kind of the vibe. So yeah, I'm just kind of surprised to hear like any artist potentially using that kind of, maybe not even that kind of language, but just sort of going for that vibe. I don't know.
Well, one is I actually think it is because they find a particular beauty in it. So let me just throw that out there as a possibility.
Good save.
Yeah.
So I don't think that they're actively wanting to paint somebody that they think is hideous because of the purpose of painting someone hideous. But I do think that they want.
No, the more you talk,
Take it back.
yeah, this is a quit while you're ahead.
Oh.
I think they want to find someone that has a particular beauty that is unique.
There you go.
Well, I couldn't get it out.
Okay, do I want to sign like in her hair, or do I want to? I think I can always cover it up.
Also, somebody made a statement one time that like age is easier to paint.
I think that is the objective way to say what you started to say before.
I've never always been very good with my words. Luckily, I think we have a gracious audience that will just giggle because they know what I really mean.
We got you. We got there at the end.
Yeah. But yeah, I like what I usually talk about with my students is typically like younger and more feminine faces are very difficult. And typically as the model is older or is more masculine, the features tend to be a little bit easier because you see more obvious plane changes. There are often like harder lines on the face, and if you happen to be painting harder lines in the painting, it typically doesn't like clash with the character of the model. It tends to be more forgiving.
I like that, the character of the model.
That's a person that chooses their words before they say them.
You just make me snort on camera, Louie. Oh, man.
Okay, my signature is really subtle, but whatever, it's fine. Also, I'm sorry, Maxine, this is not your eye, but that's, I guess, kind of the beauty of not doing a portrait commission, is that unless you say that on camera,
No one would have known.
for posterity, yeah.